Hello everybody, Assalamualaikum, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how I do my makeup in winters. This is going to be a really soft, really easy look that you can just do in about 5 or 10 minutes. So in winters, my focus is mainly the skin. In summer, I have no issues with my skin. My skin is pretty normal, but during the winter time, all the normalcy that is in my skin and it turns into a dry desert. Like my skin gets so dry in winters, you guys, so dry. So for that, I need to layer moisturizers upon moisturizers upon moisturizers. And once I get my skin properly moisturized, then my makeup does stay on my face all day long until I take it off. So if you have dry skin, this is going to be perfect for you. And even if you have oily skin, you can just skip one step. That is going to be my heavy duty moisturizer, and you can totally follow this tutorial too. In summer, most people tend to get really oily, and that can be fixed throughout the day, right? Just all around your face. But if your face looks dry and textured and caked, there is nothing you can do other than just taking it off and doing your makeup all over again, which is such a hassle. If you have issues with your makeup looking really dry in winters, try this routine, guys, and I really hope that it works out as well as it does for me. So let's just get right into it.
I like to apply lip balm first because I need to really give it time to hydrate my lips. Next, I'm going to apply this hydrating serum by Beautify by Amna, and I'm going to really massage it into my skin. The secret to really hydrated skin is basically massaging your moisturizers really well into your skin and layering moisturizers on top of moisturizers.
I really like to work every single product that I'm applying into my skin really well. I don't really like to do these, just tapping motions. I like to give my face a nice massage when I'm doing my skincare. But if you are using primers, you cannot massage a primer into your skin, no matter what it says, because in my experience, primers tend to really pill on your skin. When you are rubbing it and the product starts to form tiny balls that feel really disgusting. So don't massage primers into your skin, but do that with your serums and your moisturizers. And if your moisturizer is filling on your skin, it is not going to perform well under your makeup, so use a different moisturizer. For moisturizer, I'm taking this cute cake by Marc Jacobs. This is what it looks like.
To layer your moisturizers properly, start by applying a lightweight moisturizer all over your skin and letting it sit on your skin for at least 2 to 3 minutes, and then going in with your heavy moisturizer.
I'm going to give this moisturizer a minute to sink into my skin a little bit, and then I'm going to go with my top secret, you guys. This moisturizer is going to blow your mind. I'm going to layer a moisturizer, a heavier one, on top of this one. This was a lighter moisturizer. And the next one that I'm going to show you, it is a very heavy moisturizer. And I think it is the only moisturizer that keeps my skin hydrated enough during winters. And I said it is going to blow your mind because of how cheap it is. I mean, it is so affordable, you guys. Let me just bring it out. The classic NIVEA cream. It does miracles for my skin. It leaves my skin hydrated for 10 or 12 plus hours, which usually never happens to me. No matter how expensive of a moisturizer I use, I would just always experience really dry skin after 3 or 4 hours, but not with this one. When I have this on my skin just looks so radiant throughout the day, and this does not break me out at all. It does feel really heavy when you put it on initially, but it blends out beautifully. It does not leave that sticky heavy residue after you have blended it out in your skin. It leaves such a healthy glow on my skin.
This Strobe Cream by MAC is a makeup skincare hybrid. It is a moisturizer that has very finely milled gold shimmer particles in it. It is such a beautiful product, you guys. It makes my skin looks super glowy, super healthy.
First, I'm going to color correct using this concealer by TARTE. My dark circles are just not going anywhere. I have made peace with them. No, I have not. I am lying. Now this is a very creamy concealer, so I can actually let it sit on my skin for a little bit before blending it out, but you cannot do that with all concealers, you guys. If you have a concealer that has a matte finish or that feels really dry, you cannot let it sit on your skin. You blend it right away. But with this one, you can totally let it sit on your skin. I'm going to apply a very thin layer of foundation all over my face just to balance my skin out. My skin has been doing really good lately, and I cannot even act to be surprised because my skin was only breaking out because I stopped taking my medication. Now I'm taking it again and my skin is back to being good. What type of an idiot would stop taking medication that is making their skin better? This one.
After foundation, I'm going to show you how I turn a very medium coverage concealer into a very high coverage one by just letting it sit on my skin while I do my brows.
This is such a good brow gel, you guys. It will not give you, those really fluffy brows that are on trend right now, but once it dries down, it will keep your brows in place all day long. And it does not leave that really shiny look on your brows once it dries down. It leaves them looking really natural. It does not look crunchy, at all. It is amazing. I really like it. So now I'm just blending away the concealer. If you let a concealer sit on your skin, it will give you more coverage than it usually does if you blend it right away. So to set my under eye area, I'm taking this powder by Hourglass Cosmetics. I'm also going to set my eyelids with this powder. Usually if you use an eye primer, it does not need to be set with powder, but if you use a concealer, especially a hydrating concealer, you should set your eyelids with powder so that the concealer doesn't crease throughout the day.
This powder is so cool, you guys. It lets you crush fresh loose powder every single time you use it, so you don't waste any product, and it is super travel friendly.
You can really control the amount of powder that comes out. And it does actually really crush the powder well, you would think, because the gashes aren't quite big. You would think that it will bring out the powder in chunks, but it does not. And just like the other Hourglass powder, this does not mattify my skin completely. It leaves a really nice soft satin finish.
Next up is blush, and I'm taking this one by Fenty Beauty. It is a very beautiful blush. I love this shade so much.
And the best thing about these blushes is that they blend on top of powders so well. So for highlighter, I'm taking this one by Fenty. It is their Fenty Glow Diamond Bomb. It is going to look more like a blush topper on me than a highlight. For my normal day-to-day looks, I don't really like to wear a blending highlighter, so I'm just using this as my blush topper. They have another shade which would be a really pretty highlight, but I don't really want that today. So for my day-to-day looks, I don't really like to contour my face, but I do want to add that depth and dimension. And if you use a bronzer that has a neutral undertone, that can really work for both as contour and bronzer. So if you want more depth and dimension and not just a sun-kissed look, go for a neutral bronzer like this one, the Butter Bronzer by Physicians Formula. Do you see what I mean by neutral undertone? It is not too warm and it is not, cool grayish like your contour is supposed to be. I'm just so stingy, you guys. I don't want to waste product. I normally never apply powder products with my finger, and here I'm doing that because I did not want to waste this. And I'm just applying it all over the bridge of my nose. This This is like a secret contour trick where if you don't really want a defined nose, take some contour on your fingers and just tap it all over your nose. Don't go towards the side, just keep it on top of the nose. And I know you might be thinking her nose looks weirdly bronzed. How does it make sense? It will make sense in just a minute, you guys, just a minute. Now with contour shades, you have to be really precise, but since this is a bronzer, you can go in circular motions all over your cheeks. For my forehead, I'm really not doing that much. I'm just applying whatever's left on the brush on my temples. As you see my nose, it looks all bronzy and it looks super weird, right? So I'm just gonna take this powder that I used to set my under eye area with, and I'm just going to draw a thin line right in the middle of my nose with this powder. And I say line, but it is going to be very, very diffuse. It should not really look like there's a line going down my nose, but you know what I mean, do you? I hope you do. And then I'm just going to diffuse the corners of the bronzer. Now we are going to do eye makeup, and I'm just going to take some of this bronzer and run it through my crease. I really like to elongate my eyes, so I do an S shape here, like this. Now if you do this with an eyeshadow that is too dark, it's going to look super weird, but because I am using a bronzer, it is very, very lightly pigmented compared to an eyeshadow, and it just gives such a nice lifted look to my eyes. I hope you can tell the difference. Like this eye looks just plain, and this eye looks like there's something going on.
Next, I'm going to line my lower lash line with this brown pencil. I am not going to apply this into my eyes. I'm keeping it on the lash line, and I'm also going to draw a half wing on my top lid.
Before the pencil completely dries down and sets, I'm going to take a really thin, fine, small liner brush, and I'm just going to extend this wing shape that I've created into a very smoked out liner.
Next, I applied mascara off camera, and these are the mascaras that I used. And finally, the last step, which is lipstick, and I'm using these two lipsticks in a slightly different order than you would think.
I'm going to do my lipstick in such a weird order today. And you guys, now that I have got the color down, I'm going to line my lips with a lip liner. I have noticed that whenever I want to wear a really, really cool, muted nude lip, if I add a slightly warm, lighter lip liner around my lips, this makes the whole thing so cohesive and so nice. Let me just show you. Now this shade has to be light enough, but the most important thing is the undertone. And it has to have a warm undertone. That is really, really important. See you guys, I mean, am I crazy, or did something just magically happen? And now my lip color looks so pretty. Let me just even out my lip shape and be right back. Alright guys, I'm back and my makeup is complete, and this is how everything turned out. I do not usually fill in my brows when I'm doing a natural look, so I did not do that today. And other than that, that was all. That was just all the steps. You guys, this is so easy, so versatile. It is going to look perfect no matter what your face shape, what your skin type is. This type of an eye look, it is so simple, right? So simple, and it will make your eyes look so pretty.
Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and do give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed watching it. Stay tuned for more. Take care. Allah Hafiz.